to whom it may concern. This is not written out of hatred, it is written out of pain, concern, and hope for justice. There are moments in the life of a society when silence itself becomes a crime. Today we stand at such a moment. Every few weeks, another heartbreaking video appears before the eyes of the public. A hopeless mother crying for justice, a daughter humiliated, a poor man beaten, a powerless family begging to be heard. For a few days, people protest. Television debates begin. Social media erupts with anger, and promises are made. Then slowly everything becomes silent again until the next tragedy arrives. This repeated cycle forces one painful question upon every conscience. Why do these scenes continue to appear again and again? The answer cannot simply be that a few individuals are bad. When oppression becomes common, when the weak live in fear, and when the poor feel abandoned, then the sickness is not only in individuals, it is within the structure of society itself. The poor man suffer the most. The poor man suffer the most because he has no influence, no protection, and often no voice. A wealthy person may find lawyers, connections, or security, but the laborer, the widow, the orphan, and the daily wage worker are left standing alone before justice. History itself teaches us painful lessons. During the tragic days of the partition of India, millions of Muslims migrated toward Pakistan with dreams of dignity, safety, justice, and peace. They sacrificed homes, wealth, families, and memories, believing that future generations would live in a society based upon fairness and humanity. These sacrifices were not small. People crossed burning lands, left behind ancestral homes, and buried loved ones on unknown roads. They endured suffering because they believed a better future was possible. Today, the question before us is not political, it is moral. Have we truly built the society those people dreamed of? If the weak still cry unheard, if the poor still fear the powerful, if women and children still remain unsafe, if justice still depends upon status and influence, then we must admit with honesty that much work still remains unfinished. This letter is not written to spread hatred against any religion, community, or class, blaming entire nation or entire peoples never heals societies. Justice cannot grow from hatred. Real reform begins when leaders and citizens together recognize suffering honestly and act with courage. Therefore, this is an appeal to the conscience of those entrusted with authority, especially in sin. The people do not merely need speeches, they need visible justice. They do not merely need sympathy, they need protection. They do not merely need temporary outrage, they need permanent reform. A society becomes strong not when the rich feel comfortable, but when the poorest citizen feel safe. Let there be strict accountability against oppression. Let the weak feel that the law belongs to them as much as to the powerful. Let no mother fear humiliation. Let no daughter fear injustice. Let no poor family feel abandoned. History remembers those leaders who stood beside the helpless when remaining silent was easier. May wisdom, courage, and humanity prevail over fear, corruption, and indifference, because nations are not destroyed only by enemies from outside, they are destroyed when justice inside becomes normal, when injustice inside becomes normal, and nations rise again when conscience awakens, and nations rise again when conscience awakens. Respectfully, a concerned senior citizen, Riazul Islam Khan. Note: very special thanks go to ChatGPT for verifying this script a number of times. Thank you.